Okay, guys, we finally are gonna get this match started. I'm Venividivici. I'm gonna catch this match for you between Spadel and Boneng. It's a match of the round of 32 from the PK Clan TAD tournament, first TAD tournament with a very big prize pool effect. We are at the last day of this round of 32 stage, and we have a lot of interesting matches coming up today. This game will start in a minute or two, so let me just briefly show you my schedule here. First of all, we have Boneng versus Spadel that's gonna start right now. Afterwards, we have Shimras versus Lord Raphael. After that, Fart versus Yumiu. And we should also have Nevure versus Kiljardi, which is currently 1-0 for Kiljardi. But I believe they might finish their match later on tonight. So here we have British versus China, it looks like. Spadel needs a second to fix his deck. Keep in mind, of course, 2 minutes delay is just an anti-cheat method to make sure everything goes right for this tournament, and we have all fair play. It's going to be very interesting. A lot of people bet on Spadel winning. Of course, Spadel is a very good player, and on the other hand, Boneng is a very good player himself, probably one of the best from the Japanese community. So this is very interesting to see how this will play out. It is the round of 32, so that means it is a BO5. And that means, of course, the first one to win 3 games is gonna continue to the next round. The map order is gonna be Great Plains first, then we have Saguenay, after that will be Siberia, then New England, and then Yukon, if it goes all the way to 5 matches, that is. Also, by the way, this match is just starting now, but this is one of the matches that Goodspeed included in his betting system on PK Clan site, pkclan.net that is. So if you are fast, you can still probably jump in and place a bet there with the PK bucks that you get from the forum, and maybe have it right and get a good score out of that. Mine sound a little bit weird, but it was late yesterday, so sorry for that. Anyway, match is starting, map is loading, has loaded, and we see here that just a quick look at the map. The second gold mine for Spadel is kind of bad, but Boneng doesn't have the best gold mines either, so I would say it's still pretty okay overall because this first one's a little bit closer. Also, the hunts, he has a big hunt over there, he has a big hunt over there, and some additional, one other big one over that here. Same for Boneng. So the map is pretty balanced. Of course, if any player thinks it's not balanced enough, then he can just ask for a rehost, but he of course needs a valid reason, and that is a map screw, like no food, 2 bad gold mines, and not just a wrong treasure or something like that. Anyway, Spadel is going for 70 coin over here, while Boneng is just scouting around a little bit down his base, getting the free coin beavers. What we see here is he's going for 1 house. We often see the Chinese guy going for a second house as well. That means that you will, if you use the villager card, I'm not sure how it's called again, but if you use that card, you will get a free villager from every house in town center. So if you make a second house, then you will get 1 more villager from that. So that's of course a nice economic boost. He of course also has to make sure that he is still gathering food, because you want to have continuous villager production. So that's why you see only a few villagers on wood. You have enough time to get that additional wood anyway, and maybe you can even find some treasure around on the map that give you some more wood. 80 food being picked up by Boneng. As Asian civilizations, it's always very nice to pick up a food treasure, because they generally age a little bit slower than European civilizations, and they can keep making villagers constantly because they don't age in their town center. They age by making a wonder. So if you have your food faster, you can start that wonder faster while you're still making villagers. So you will age up a little bit faster. That's always, of course, a good thing. In this matchup, we can have just a few things. The Chinese can rush, but that's not likely versus British. It's likely that he will go for some kind of semi-fast fortress or fast fortress, depending on how much pressure Spadel is going to put on. There we have the second house, by the way, so you get the 200 wood, and there you can... we'll see the villages popping out in a minute or so. Spadel, of course, has then 2 options, because he's likely gonna face a semi-fast fortress or a fast fortress, and that is going to be either some kind of small rush, not damaging his own economy too much, but just trying to delay Boneng a bit, maybe siege a house or so, or go for a very boomy style, or maybe even a semi-fortress himself. But often we see a Boneng style and then, for example, Longmen and Hussars, and you can still age in the back of it, because early on the Chinese has nice shipments, but if you have a good army as British, then the Chinese guy can't just charge into that. On the other hand, China is likely to age with the Summer Palace first of course, and then the Confucian Academy later on, so he will get a cannon, and that's something that might sometimes be hard to deal with as a British player if you're still in the second age. We saw that Boneng also picked up 140 food, so in total he now has 220 food, and that, oh, and even the 30, so that's 250 food. That's of course very nice. That will increase his age up time a lot. Speed up his age up time. We see that Spadel is now aging himself. He also gets 60 food, by the way, and a little bit of coin here and there. We see a lot of villagers on wood. In fact, almost all villagers. Building a market, of course, for the upgrades, and there Boneng also goes for 70 XP. Spadel bringing in his second hunt and also his third hunt over there, and even his fourth hunt already. So sometimes you see players going just for the two big hunts at the start, not wasting time on getting the fourth hunt already, because usually you have time later on, especially if you don't face Iroquois or so, but the Chinese. Anyway, Spadel just wants to bring in everything close already, so that's also okay. We see the herds were trying to run away a little bit in the wrong way, but he already corrected that by shooting them again towards the town center. And there we have the Summer Palace from Boneng, age up choice. Very standard, of course, gives you an army every minute or so, every 1.5 minutes. And of course, most importantly, 400 food when you age up, so that means that you will be able to age faster to the third age. Quickly check over here. Spadel aged with 16 villagers. That is one less than kind of the standard thing. That's why he aged a little bit faster. Probably had good herding with his bisons close, it means you gather fast, and also had the 60 food treasure. He aged with a tower. You're gonna be put in a defensive position here. And of course 200 coin can be used for upgrades, but in this case he's going for stables. That means that he will get easier 5 hussars out to raid the Chinese guy, and just probably gonna go for some raids to slow him down, to make sure that he doesn't age up that easily, that fast, and boom in the back of it. And we'll see if it's either going to be a heavy boom in the second age, or that he's going to go for some kind of semi-FF himself. This is also a nice treasure for Boneng later on, 30% hit points increase for your hero. Of course, the Chinese hero, any TD hero, by the way, also any TWC hero, so the War Chief's hero, they have a lot of hit points. So these hit point treasures for your heroes are, of course, very beneficial to them. Very nice that the Spadel is putting a lot of houses and markets and stuff on the outside of his base. You always want to do that, so you have a good line of sight around your base, and that means that you can see any raids or army coming in on time, and that way you can respond to it, moving your villages away, etc., and moving your army towards it. We have 3 hussars coming in there. That means that he did definitely do one of the upgrades, probably steel traps, because otherwise you are able to get 5 hussars out with the coin you gather and the coin you get from the age up. But then again, it is probably enough to just raid a little bit with 3 hussars. 5 hussars, to be honest, don't do that much more here in this case. The Chinese has the houses, has the town center, so the main thing is that you run around a little bit and try to make sure that you can just pressure him, and that he has to move his villages in the house or in the town center. And 5 hussars don't do that much more than 3 or 4 hussars. We saw that he shipped 700 coin here, so he's now aging with the Confucian Academy. It looks like should be that one, in fact. And Spadel now picked up the 30% hit points increase. Of course, if you play versus a TD or TWC civilization, it's not only that you don't want that you per se want to have it yourself also ensures that, of course, the other guy is not going to have it, and that is probably an even bigger advantage for you than that you have it yourself. A lot of villages on coin here. So we have to see what he's gonna make out of that. He lost 2 hussars so far, delaying Boneng a little bit, but not that much, I would say. And there he's trying to go for another village. You see that Boneng is just continuing building with the other villages, and just the one that is being attacked, he puts the one in the town center. So no problem for him there. He's just losing a little bit of HP and like minimal gathering time, so that's all fine. Let me see what Spadel sent afterwards. That's the 5 villager card. And of course, first we have the 700 wood card here as the first card in the second age. That's all very standard. And after that, should not be there yet, I think, but that's just the coin gathering from the mine. So this might also be that he's going fortress without using the 700 coin shipments, and that of course is nice because you then have another shipment available in the third age. It seems that he's not making any more hussars, nor any other units, nor that many houses, so I think he's going to age up just by gathering the resources. Well, of course, as you see here, keep bringing in the Huns close and make sure they don't run away. Keep microing the herds. And there he's even gonna get a coyote puppy. It's not the most useful treasure, but of course you still get XP from it, and that's always nice, and you can use it as a little scout to put it somewhere near a gold mine or so to see where Boneng is probably gathering. You see here that Boneng has aged up. He also ships 700 wood, very standard, and that allows you to make up the consulate, to build up the consulate, add a Rex, and of course another house because you needed to pump out units. Some more hussars there from Spadel, as you see now. And he gets 10 arquebusiers that are like skirmishers from his age up, and he has of course the anti-cavalry army made from the summer palace. You can task it to any army that you like, or almost any army to be honest. And of course you want to have some anti-cavalry if you see your opponent is raiding a little bit. Also allying to the British, that means that he will get a boost in hit points, and also he will have access to the musketeer shipment later on, and that's very important for China because the anti-cavalry is not the best. And also, if you have the musketeers as anti-cavalry, you are able to, for example, ship your cavalry shipments to deal with longmen and stuff like that from the British guy. Otherwise, you have to maybe ship pikemen or so to protect yourself from cavalry. We have 2 more batches of hussars popping out, so he had a delay there. It seems that after all, he's not going for a third age yet. I'm actually interested to see why he did delay his second batch so much. Of course, he didn't need many units at that point. Oh, okay, he did it. Okay, so of course, British, of course, age slower. They don't have to fast age up like French or German or so. So he just made these units while he was aging up. Of course, with the economy that British has, let me see fast here. You have like 40 villages almost. That means that even if you age up, it takes like not sure the exact stat, but it takes like a minute or a half or so. Anyway, it takes some time, and then you can just train a lot of units still while you're aging up, and that's exactly what he's doing. A lot of hussars, not that much anti-cavalry as you see over here, so in fact this is something that Spadel could even just take, in my opinion, right away. The hussars can be used to block this cavalry, but he decides to go back for now. Of course, he still has his town center, 90 damage, and he has his tower. And there we see the musketeers coming in. Adding a Rex as well to make new longbowmen. There you see them popping out. And these cavalry, they are doing, oh, even the shipment from the town center. That's very nice positioning here from Spadel. The cavalry is attacking the tower, that's not what he should be doing there. Still attacking the tower. We see that the musketeers are put in melee mode here to deal best with the cavalry, but Spadel also popped out Minutemen, so he's definitely able to deal with this first push very well. And it is definitely an overcommitment from Boneng, and also a game changer. If you see now 60 score difference. It was very nice that Spadel here chose to go for the 5 hussar shipment. Very well timed. Also tested to his tower instead of his town center, so they came out on this side and were able to completely trap the army of Boneng so that he couldn't run away. And now we have a lot of hussars upgraded to veteran hussars as well. And that is going to be very rough for China with not much anti-cavalry left. So he definitely has to ship his pikemen, I would say. But then of course Spadel also has longbowmen still to deal with that. So let's see what Boneng is going to do from here. Spadel going to back off for now, and there we have the Minutemen popping out and another batch of skirmisher and pikemen from China in the third age. But Boneng should definitely be very careful. He can't take any fight yet, and it is surprising that he stayed there for so long, knowing that Spadel also aged up. But that's the good decision making, by the way, by Spadel. Not just sending the 5 hussar shipment and tasking to the tower, but also the fact that he gathered all the resources to age up instead of just. Let me just go to here. We see that Spadel just taking this fight. He has enough cavalry and longbowmen to deal with these pikemen. And of course, hussars 384 HP. That's quite a lot. so he doesn't have to run yet. It's not the most cost-effective fight for him, but he believes that if he takes his army out now, it's going to be a bigger advantage for him with the economy that he has behind it. And of course, all the longmen still shooting at the pikemen, and he's able to clean it up here. As you see, these ones should go back right away, as they're doing now. And what I was saying is also good decision making by Spadel that he chose to go for just gathering the resources to age up to the third age rather than shipping 700 coin. If he would have done 700 coin, he wouldn't have 5 hussars available so fast in the third age, and that would definitely prove to be a problem. He might have still won the fight with the town center and the Minutemen, but not as convincingly as he did now. We see that the cannon here popping out. He got off one shot at the infantry. Of course, you always want to shoot it in a big group of infantry units there, but this is gonna be killed by the hussars anyway. And the musketeers trying to deal with them here, but this is gonna be very, very rough for Spadel. 80 score, 70 score advantage now for Spadel. Musketeers are put in melee mode, of course, they deal better with cavalry then, but and there we have cavalry shipments from Spadel. Of course, going to be tested the longbow right away, they do very well versus them. But then, of course, the hussars from Spadel are going to be used to block this cavalry, and musketeers still put in melee mode, that's probably the best choice here, better versus longbow. But there's still quite a lot of army, and now he has twice the score of Boneng, and that's also the problem with this Chinese play. You age up fast to the fortress age. It was a fast fortress, and that means that you have not much economy behind it. You you purely rely on shipments. Also, no trading post. So when you run out of shipments, which is kind of now, you do have a problem dealing with the British guy who just is able to spam a lot of hussars and longmen. He doesn't even need to make anti-cavalry at this point, because the army of Boneng is just not big enough. So his hussars are able to deal with any small group of pikemen because of the HP they have, or block any hussars as you see, any cavalry as you see over there, so that the longmen in the back can just do a lot of damage. Two cannons now being shipped as well. This is kind of to just finish it off. He is trying to go to the side, see if there are any villagers gathering some stuff there. We see 3 escaped over there. I'm not sure if he saw them or if he just guesses that the villagers might be outside of the base. There we see the villagers are trying to deal with the hussars. And that is actually very interesting of Spadel. He left his cannons completely unprotected, and his longbow as well, so this iron field shipment, they will be able to deal with these cannons, and also kill a few longbow here. But then again, if you look at the scores, it's a double score advantage, so he's definitely just actually already kind of won this game. Iron fields do pretty nice by way versus skirmishers, 1 area damage and 1.5 times bonus versus skirmisher, longbow, stuff like that. But as you see here, he lost 2 cannons and a few longbow, but it doesn't matter that much. Still 10 villagers, or maybe more in the town center, 90 to attack here. And he managed to clean up these 3 villages on the side here, with the hussar raid. And meanwhile, of course, Spadel just has the whole map, you can see here. He's not afraid of any raids, even if there might be a small raid coming in. It's not a problem if he loses a few villages, and he has, of course, complete control to the base there of Boneng. So good game. Good choice by Spadel. Maybe Boneng hasn't played versus the way that Spadel played a lot, especially this 5 or so shipment made a lot of difference. On the other hand, pushing out that fast versus British, who starts with a stable, and also you saw that he aged up, is in my opinion a little bit risky. I mean, the initial push, for example, to deny a gold mine or maybe kill off a tower is okay, but if you go this far, like he was exactly over here, you can get completely trapped. If you are over here, you can still micro or walk your way back. And then, of course, you see here that Spadel didn't boom that much, just a little bit, but afterwards, third age, still making villages, of course, and then the 8 villager shipment here in the third age is just hard to deal with as a Chinese player. So, a good game. First win goes to Spadel. And I see that Boneng logged out to ESO. Not sure what happened over there. My hands are getting very cold. It is a BO5, guys. So the first one to win 3 games is gonna go on to the next round. So this is now waiting for Boneng to come back again. Okay, he is back. Iroquois versus India. Interesting. I definitely know that Boneng has is a good player, so we'll see what he can bring up with India. But we see mostly that when someone picks Iroquois, as of course the strongest civilization in this tournament, the other guy is usually gonna pick Iroquois as well. If it's gonna be Great Plains, then may go for British or Ottomans to counter it with Abbas guns and Janissaries and very good micro. India, however, might be a safe choice because of this map. You have, of course, water here, so India could also age up with a fort. That means it's hard for Iroquois to push in, and then they still have the option to go for water.
Are you ready?
Whoa, 144 viewers, nice. I hope you guys are enjoying it. I am definitely enjoying this. This is, of course, one of the probably one of the best matchups that I've casted so far for this tournament. Two very strong players, could easily be like a semi-final or something here. So very interesting, and we'll have to see how this plays out. So second map is going to be Saguenay, and we have the horizontal trading post line here. That means in this case even 5 trading posts. I believe it's normally 4, but anyway, 5 and not like 3 as we have in the vertical trading post line. The match starts. Always a good sign here. As for the balance, we have 2 gold mines there, so that is pretty equal. Hunt there. He has kind of a further hunt, but okay. Boneng has 1 less hunt, it seems. On the other hand, he is able to, of course, bring in this hunt a little bit or put his aggro fort here somewhere like that. But this hunt is a little bit easier for Spadel to get as his second hunt, while Boneng kind of misses one over here. Anyway, it's still pretty okay. You can still, of course, play according to the map. It would give the map a little bit in favor of Spadel here, but still pretty okay, it seems to me. So anyway, sheeps, of course, as a reminder to you guys, not everyone is that familiar with TAD civilizations. The Indian guys, they can't gather food from sheeps. Sheeps are considered holy. I think that he might realize that he has bad hunts, yes. It's like I said, Spadel has this third one over here, and that's not what Boneng has, so he has to bring this hunt all the way back to his town center, or he has to put an aggro fort here. But of course, if you have to protect this hunt, it also messes up with your possible plan or strategy, because then you have to, you don't have a normal third hunt available. So let me quickly jump into the third game then, into the next rehost, I mean. Why is this guy logging out every time that he... Okay, so just a quick rehost there. The map was unfair. Spadel had one hunt more than Boneng had, so Boneng asked for a rehost, which of course he can do so. So there we go. We have again a horizontal trading post line, but this time it is a 3 trading post only instead of the 4 or 5 that we saw last game, which was extraordinary in my opinion, because usually I see like 3 or 4. Anyway, looking at the map, we see that he has 1 gold mine there, a second there, and Spadel has 1 here, a second there, a third here, and the 4th even there. So the gold mine is definitely a lot better for him. But the hunts are the most important thing early on. And we see now that Boneng at least has the starting hunt here, a second, and the third. The 4th is in the middle here. The 4th is a little bit closer for Spadel, because this is Spadel's first and second. A little bit closer to this one, so the map is a little bit better for Spadel still. But I think it is fine for Boneng to continue playing like this. Of course, again, he can still put his aggro fort over here and secure this hunt easier, and this mine yeah, as well. Of course, if you come with skirmishes from this side, your aggro fort won't protect any villages on this mine, so that's not easy, but I think it should be okay for now. Anyway, we see that these elephants are going to take 90 food, very nice treasure for Indian guys. As explained in the previous game, it will speed up their aging a lot. So that's very good. I was saying about the game before that the Indian guys consider their... Okay. Yeah, his hunt is definitely okay. Wait, I hope he will scout this and then he will see that it's okay. Boneng has 2 hunts here, and Spadel has 2 hunts here, but his 4th hunt is closer than Boneng's 4th hunt. Yeah, you are fine.
Are you ready? Yes.
Okay, so there we go again. No reos, luckily. As I was saying, the Indians can't use their sheep to get food from it. They consider it as a holy animal or something like that, and they can use it to get additional XP from it. They can even build like a livestock pen kind of thing that boosts the XP rate. But that's why it's for Indians important to find sheep, because you get more XP throughout the whole game. And of course that means more shipments, so a stronger rush or just a stronger economy, because you can get 600 wood, etc. The scouting path of Boneng was quite interesting. I believe he went pretty fast towards this side of the map via the center over here. Not sure. I think he didn't scout this yet. Also, he would probably have got the 80 foot over here if he had scouted it. Anyway, he is going now for the Cherokee Rifleman. And of course, every treasure guardian that you kill is also additional XP, so that's also, of course, a nice thing. But being able to get this Cherokee Rifleman, that will mean that you can harass the Iroquois a little bit early on with your two heroes and the Rifleman versus the Iroquois hero. Anyway, we see that the Iroquois hero here has, of course, the conversion ability, so he converts one bear, attacks the other. Very strong hero, a lot of HP. Can do the special crack shot things that he kills a lot of units, not kills, damages a lot of units that are standing close to each other with like a small area damage. And of course, it boosts every unit that is in his aura, that is like somewhere like this side, with HP, so they get an additional 10 or 15 HP or something in the second age. Boneng is interestingly scouting with 2 elephants. It is probably a good choice because you have a lot of treasures here on this map which require 2 elephants to kill the guardians instead of just 1, because the guardians are too strong. On the other hand, of course, scouting goes a little bit slower because you walk with 2 elephants all the way instead of just splitting them up and be able to scout more. There we see the Cherokee Rifleman being used as well, so that the elephants will have as lot of HP as possible. And there he saw that Spadel aged up. He sent already 1 elephant towards his direction, very good, to spot the Travaux wagon. And now he found it, and that is gonna be hard for Spadel to deal with this. He rescued a Nutka, and he rescued... He is barely not... He is... Oh, okay, he is gonna get it. It was really close. You saw that he first built it over here, but he immediately changed it, and I think even that Boneng is gonna get it. Yes, he will. We're having 2 of these heroes, he should be able to get it. Or not. 35. Well, anyway, if he doesn't get it, it will mean that... Wait. I think he's not gonna get it, but... Or is he? No, but yeah, see, like this, I wasn't about to say. If he gets it, if he doesn't get it, he will damage it by so much that he will get it when it's finished. And that's what just happened over there. Of course, you don't have to run from this, you should just fight it, because you will lose all units anyway, so just do as much damage as possible. You saw, of course, the elephants have a pretty nice siege attack. 2 elephants, a Nuka Clubman and a Cherokee Rifleman. And you have to keep in mind, every unit in Age of Empires that is doing damage against a building that is being built will do additional bonus damage, and that's why he was able to take down so much HP of this warhead, because it was building all the way and he was attacking it from the start. But Spadel did at least did a nice trick there, or trick. He first built over here, then he built it fast over there, and you saw that Boneng was trying to block it with his elephants, but in the end Spadel barely just got it up, and in the end still lost it anyway. And that means, of course, he has to gather now a lot of wood, as you see here. That will delay him a lot because he has to build a new warhead. I'm not sure what his plan was. He went for 2 trading posts, so I didn't expect a rush. Also, of course, we have this aggro fort here from Boneng, and now a little bit of a raid coming in from the Kanyas. Of course, I don't want to take too much damage, so I'm just gonna run away. Pretty nice setup here. You see the aggro fort, very defensive, with a wall around it, and this is a very nice positioned wall. It's not like one of the standard walls to just block off your side of the map. This wall has the purpose of denying any units from getting in range of this fort to attack it. So every unit can come to here, but every range, or I should say siege attack range, is like somewhere here, in this area. So that means every unit that's walking over here can't attack the fort, but it is getting attacked by the fort. Spadel doing some scouting now. Of course, he wants to know if the Iroquois, if the Indian guy with this defensive position is going for a dog already or not. So far, we don't see any dog coming out from Boneng. So I have to see what will happen there. See a little bit of a lag thing here, unfortunately. Trading post coming up for Boneng as well. Of course, Spadel already has 2 trading posts, and he did already upgrade the stagecoach as well. So of course, Boneng will benefit from that. For sure, he now knows about his second hunt over there, and he should later be rescuing these 2 elephants, because they are a lot of HP. They will be very useful in battle. Spadel also had 100 wood, by the way, and 40 wood, so luckily for him, he didn't have to get that much wood. And we also see that he didn't go for a warhead. Oh, he did go for a warhead, sorry. But he's also going for a stable, so probably shipped 600 wood, upgraded the trading post, and made the ward in the stable. But at least it was a little bit slowed down, and Boneng has definitely now more time to just get his economy rolling and do some market upgrades, get the consulate early, and of course not taking any damage so far. These Kanya is now going to be used out to help. I think that he's going to try to take this treasure. He can convert one, that leaves only 4 riflemen, and then he should be able to take out this treasure with all this HP, and there's he's going to go for it. Immediately attacking with Kanyas as well, and that is of course a nice pickup. 300 fruit, very nice boost. So, yeah, he got it. Of course, only the hero loses some HP, but that's no problem. Of course, if he's running around, then he won't be re-healing himself, but if he just stands still at some point there, he will get his HP back over time, so that's okay. We see a few more sappers being made by Boneng. I expect them were expected they were made, not shipped. Anyway, just a little bit of a defense you needed versus the Kanya raids. And there we have one sap boy going out for a scout, or probably gonna rescue these 2 elephants of him so he can scout with them again. As I went over a couple of times in the previous game, scouting is very important, so you always need to know. That's nice if he's gonna post here. You always need to know what your opponent is doing. If he would stay here, it would be really, really nice, because you can expect your opponent will want to rescue your 2 elephants. So if he's gonna stay here, he will deny that, or even better, stay close, make sure that he's gonna rescue them so they will revive, and then kill them, because then you get 2 times, what is it, 2 times 70 XP or 100 XP or something from the elephants. And that is probably also why Boneng just walks around, because he doesn't want to revive his elephants now and give free XP to the Iroquois. So he's just gonna walk around and sees what happened here. So far, not much pressure from Iroquois either. He's gathering a lot of coin, so he will probably go for a 3rd age agenda. Of course, as we all know by now, or as we all should know by now, the Iroquois can make tomahawks, ainas, and kanyas in the 2nd age, and they all cost food and wood. So the only reason to gather gold is to go for a 3rd age. Or perhaps some market upgrades, but then you won't need to have so many villagers on coin. And that's also why scouting is important. If you see this as Boneng, for example, you know what's coming up. Anyway, he's already going for a 3rd age himself there. He shipped the coin, he got the last bit of coin there, and there we have it. I believe this looks like the Taj Mahal. And that is gonna allow you to do this ability that's called ceasefire, I believe, and that will do the ceasefire as it says, so it will for like 10 seconds or something, or 15 seconds, to cast a ceasefire on the total game. That means that no one can attack each other for 15 seconds or so. And of course it also gives you coin from building the wonder, so you always get an ability with a wonder, except for the Alga Fort, then it's the like defensive ability, the shooting ability. With every other wonder you have an ability plus some additional resources. With the tower, the victory tower, you get because there's some downtime, I can give you a little bit more of a description here. With the victory tower you can get the wood from the age up, and you have the ability to improve your units in combat for a small amount of time. With Taj Mahal, as you see here, being constructed, one of these 7 world wonders, guys, take a look there. You get the ceasefire ability and some coin, and the Karnimata allows you to boost up your gathering, so that's the ability for that one, and you can get some resources like corn, food and wood, a little bit of everything. Spadel aged up there, make a little bit of a wall here to make sure that there's no direct path from Boneng to counter him right away. And now we will probably see him going for a lot of forest prowlers, that are the skirmishers from the Iroquois, very strong unit you have them here. Mixed in some dragoons, those are musket riders from the Iroquois, as the base army, and then he's probably gonna mix in some Kanyas as well to be able to deal with Gurkhas from the Indian guy. There we have the coin from the age up, and he herded this hunt pretty nice from here all the way to there to his town center. And we have the dock going up there. Of course, Boneng went for a pretty defensive position for his Iroquois. That is actually very understandable. He was able to kill off the ward, but you don't know that for sure. Of course, it's always a risk. You could put your Iroquois fort over here, but if the Iroquois is going really aggressive, then he is probably going to be able to take it out if he wants so. with of course the good base economy that the Iroquois still has behind it with 2 trading posts. So anyway, Boneng went for a very defensive position. You see here, even walling this whole part. And now because he's running out of food, he has no more food left here in fact. He is going for a dog, but before that he is also going to age up, and that's why he used the Taj Mahal to get the coin to age up faster. We have 1 deer left here with 300 food, 1 elk, and that's the last food that he has, and now he's having all his villagers on wood to just pump out a lot of boats there. Spadel so far is being a little bit more aggressive to see what's going on the map. This is kind of a scout as well, because he's not really sure what he can expect from now. Scores are very similar, so he doesn't know if Boneng is aging or if he's just messing units. So he has to be very careful about that. But he is going to find that Boneng is going for a full fortification here. He's losing 1 villager there, and he might lose this one, this being the wall, building the wall. And he is gonna lose it there before the wall is finished. But that's not a problem yet. I mean, this is not an issue for Boneng right now. Also, of course, there he's going age up, by the way, with the Karnimata. Sometimes they prefer to go for the Mansabdar gate, and that will give you 1 Mahout elephant. And that is also gives you the ability to train 1 unit of each, like a Sepoy, a Gurkha, etc. Which will also boost every Sepoy that you made from there. As long as that unit is alive, I have to say. But anyway, he goes for the Kanimata, and as you see here, every villager that's in this aura, in this range, gets a little circle there around him. And it will be boosted, I believe 10% or something. Economic boost for these villages. Meanwhile, Spadel knows that Boneng just aged up. That means it is the time for him to attack. He destroyed the wall and he's going in now. And there we have the ceasefire from Boneng. That's the ability I explained before. You can task it with the Taj Mahal. And it is 20 seconds, in fact, not 15. Sorry for that. He's gonna build a new town center, of course. That is also very nice, because this town center, when it finishes, and of course you can use Asian villagers to finish a town center. When this finishes, you can also pop in villagers there and have 90 more damage if you choose so. No villagers in here yet. Ceasefire is now over. Of course, RF4 doing damage as well. This is very hard. I'm not sure if Boneng should already take the fight here. I'm very surprised that he doesn't put any villages in his town center, but there we have the Yurumi shipment coming out from the home shipment. They're of course the best versus musketeers, in fact, and not so good versus these kind of units, but they are still a pretty good unit overall, so that's still okay. Anyway, this is kind of a mess here. He's also popping out Miniman. As you see, he has in fact 2 times Miniman available. He pumped out irregulars there and the villagers. Let me see what this is. This is the sentries over there. And he is gonna clean it up rather nicely without even only using this town center fire. That's quite a surprise to me. He was not able to finish this wall on this side of the map. But he's definitely held it for now, and this is not something this is very good for Boneng, of course. Spadel wasted kind of a lot of his army. Of course, he had to push in there, he had to make something happen. And there we have another Yurumi shipment coming up. And while, of course, Yurumis are the best versus musketeers, tomahawks and stuff like that, because of their bonus damage versus heavy infantry and their area and their ranged attack, even though they do a hand attack, it's a ranged attack thing. That means that tomahawks and musketeers have no resistance versus that. They still do pretty nice versus, for example, skirmishers like forest prowlers, because forest prowlers, as soon as they get hit by these Yurumis, they will, the skirmishers will have to go in melee mode, because the Yurumis attack them from close by. So that means that the skirmishers will do not the 20 damage, but just the 8 hand attack damage. Also, we saw now, by the way, this little aura boost here around these units, and that means that he made a Mansabdar Yurumi. I guess it called it. Yeah, there it is. This one is one you can make from. Oh, wait a second. You can make a Mansabdar unit, as I told before, from the Mansabdar gate. However, he didn't age up with that wonder. That means that he got it from his deck. Yeah, okay, that's the card. It's one Mansabdar Yurumi and 9 Yurumi Swordman. So very strong card there. It's interesting that he didn't ship this one before. On the other hand, maybe he didn't want to lose it right away. But anyway, you get 9 normal Yurumis, and then you get 1 Mansabdar Yurumi, and there you have it. Look at his stats, by the way. 450 HP, and this Mansabdar guy has 800 HP and then 0.3 range resistance. So that's really a lot. It's really tough to get this one killed. And he's boosting all the other guys that are going with him. Stable coming up now from Boneng, and there you have the complete wall finished. Booming a lot of boats, of course, gathering all this wood here. And also making a frigate, or maybe shipping one. I think he made it, to be honest, because he could have shipped it, but I think he shipped the Urumis twice, so I don't think he shipped the frigate yet. He probably made it, not sure. Anyway, he has control over the water now. Of course, Spadel has no warhead here yet. Also, he has no dock yet, and let me see if he even has something in his deck to deal with it. We see here that he has 4 of these war canoes. Of course, the canoes from the warship civilizations are pretty strong, as we all know from Aztec on water, for example. And he, of course, can still send the pirate ships here for 500 gold. And the warboats. But so far it means that Spadel has control over the map and Boneng has control over the water. What you have to take into account is that your water boom is, of course, at some point, like now, I think after you commit like 15 boats, really kicking in. On the other hand, the fish is something that depletes. Over time it will just deplete and you have no more fish left. However, the gold in this part, which you have like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, around 7 gold, you can task 7 times 4 is 28 villagers on gold, 28 boats on gold. And that is like infinite gold for the rest of the game. So that is really important for someone who is going on water. While of course Spadel, he does have the market upgrades that he benefits from, and he can gather from the whole map. You see town centers coming up on this side of the map. But at some point this food will run out as well. And at some point the mines will also run out, and that means that he has to go on plantations. But that is of course later on. We are not at that point yet. He still has a lot of gold to gather. And we see now that Boneng is gonna charge on Spadel. He's still allying with the British. Of course, the British give you an HP boost for your units, and the option to make, because you ally with the British consulate, you get the option to get British units such as musketeers, but also the musketeers and cannon army. Anyway, very nice siege attack. These guys as well, taking out a trading post here. Of course, Spadel trying to use his units most effectively. Kanyas won't do that much, to be honest. Oh, wait a second. Kanyas, of course, do pretty nice, sorry, versus Urumis, because they have no melee resistance. And Kanyas, of course, have a pretty good attack, as you see over here. But he's now just using his range. As you see, 20 range is a skirmisher. Of course, every damage that you can do, especially versus musketeers, because they counter musketeers. But every HP that you can get off from the Urumis are very nice. He took out a trading post, so good job there. And there we have the frigate here. He took out the wall. And he's now gonna fight this warhead. We see that Spadel now is finally trying to do something about the water of Boneng, making a second warhead as well. So we have to see what Boneng is gonna do about it. If Spadel is also gonna ship his canoes and has this warhead protection, then it's gonna be really hard for Boneng to deal with it. So he should definitely be preparing himself for it, and ship some boats or make some more boats. Of course, having docks already, he can also make a monitor. And there you go, there's the monitor boat, which of course is rather easy, can rather easily take out these warheads, as you see there. In fact, keep in mind this warhead has one time the ability to do this, like this big shot, and afterwards it has to do a normal shot. This big shot takes out buildings quite fast, and the normal shot, which should be coming up any moment there. There finally. You see that the damage, there's a lot of damage, but it only damages, it needs a few shots. You see 3 shots here to kill this warhead. Anyway, warhead down, that means complete control for the water again. And also now he can use these monitors to kill these houses. And of course, when he has line of sight with his army here, he can also use the long range of the monitor to attack, for example, the town center and stuff like that, as soon as he has line of sight with his normal army. He is pulling out here. A lot of Kanyas are definitely able to deal with this. I'm surprised that Boneng is going out so far. Because look, very good by Spadel making so many Kanyas, because Kanyas are really the best counter to Urumis. They have ranged damage, which Kanyas have range resistance, so that's good. And of course Urumis have no melee resistance, but Kanyas do melee damage. So kind of a little bit of a waste of an army for Boneng, I would say. On the other hand, he's still doing pretty decent. Of course, a lot of HP by these guys means they will live quite long, and they do have 1 area damage, but you see that the Spadel is able to clean this up quite nicely. On the other hand, if you take a look at the scores, 390 versus 250, so that's a 130 score advantage. This water is just huge. It always makes so much difference if someone goes water in a game like this. Anyway, he's now also using his monitors here to attack these units, and because he had line of sight, he was now able to task the monitors on a town center. That means that there's no more line of sight needed at this point, because they have, so to say, found their target, and they should be able to take this out, I believe. Actually, okay, they lost their line of sight, so they can't. I thought once they had line of sight and like saw the building once, they could keep attacking it, but I guess that he still needs new line of sight then anyway. This sea fleet, of course, is pretty strong now. So even if Spadel would ship his 4 canoes, then Boneng is probably able to deal with it, even making another boat if really needed. So we have more barracks coming up. The economy of Boneng is really kicking in now because of all this land economy combined with this water economy. We see that there's a little bit of food left on this side, but he's now getting a lot of gold with these boats. 1, 2, 3, 4 times 5, so it's 20 villages on gold already, and that means that these should probably be all tasked on food, as you see over there. 1 on coin still. Yeah, this is kind of a rough position for the Iroquois. They're the best civilization on land, but not the best civilization on water. And of course, giving Boneng time to secure the water, take the water, boom from the water, is of course something that... Now he is able to take it out, I don't get it. Why couldn't he shoot this one before? Why can he now? There's no line of sight. But he couldn't finish it before. Interesting. Or he just didn't task it. Could also be the case. Anyway, more Stables Rex coming up. And another Urumi shipment coming up. I'm not sure why there is more Urumi coming versus Kanyas, but okay, that's still fine. I really would like to see him mixing in some camels as well, because then with camels and Zamborax, he would be able to deal with these this skirmisher cavalry army. Because of course camels coming close to deal with or elephants even, Mahout, stuff like that, a lot of HP to deal with the skirmishers, and then the Zamborax can deal with the Kanyas. So that means that actually Spadel has to run away from everything. Yeah, he's now just trying to chase his army. Of course, these skirmishers have to run a little bit from these Urumis. And when the Kanyas come there to block them, the Zamborax will be focus fight on the Kanyas. While the skirmishers are still trying to take out the Zamborax, but now they are out of range. Good micro there by Boneng to run around a little bit there. Still, good micro by Spadel as well to target any Zamborax that comes in range here. By the way, very strong, I would almost say OP unit, this Zamborax guy. He's very fast, has 12 range, that's not that much, but 22 damage times 3.5, that's a lot for his cavalry. And that for just 1 population and 120 resources, it's kind of ridiculous in a way. Anyway, so far, by the way, these 2, 4, 6, 7 ships have done a lot of XP gathering for Boneng. And these monitors, of course, going to be used on the coast side here to take out any buildings from Spadel on that side. So Spadel kind of has to build up a new base, as you see over here, building everything there. But even these buildings, once they get in line of sight with the land army, these long-range monitors can attack some of these buildings. You see that Boneng is now trying to take this trading post there. He is maybe even gonna... No, he's not. Spadel is gonna... Oh wait, he is. Spadel is gonna attack this hero, so he might miss this one. Anyway, Spadel also aged up. I think that's a smart choice to do so, because versus a 4th age India, you need to get, of course, a good economy going. That's why he had 2 town centers, although he lost 1 now. I mean, he added 2 town centers, so had 3, but he lost 1 now. But also you need to have 4th age units as well, to be able to deal with the strong units from India in the 4th age. He is barely gonna get this trading post up, or barely not. Siegefire, very nice. Using the siege fire so that the Kanya cannot attack, but of course the warrior can still attack. He gets the trading post up, and that means that he is able to do 1 or 2 upgrades before it will go down.
course.
Elephant goes down now. I think he's gonna get one upgrade out probably. So good move there. And now he's also mixing in Gurkhas, as you see over there. I really would like to see him mixing in some Mahouts, to be honest, because this army from Spadel was so, like, Tomahawks were like almost non-existent there, so just skirmisher and cavalry, so the cavalries are blocking them, and there you see he made some Churakas. Oh, that's coming from the trading post, yes. That's this one. Of course, also this trading post not only allows you to make Crete Wreckers, which are very good skirmisher, but also enables you to make Coureur de Bois, I believe, which is a very huge economic boost, but I don't see any Coureur de Bois made yet. I have to keep an eye on that later. So far he is not rebuilding his second trading post yet. He of course can also do it with a few villages there. Don't need your hero per se. And there we see Spadel took out a trading post and now gonna grab the trading post himself. A lot of farms from him, but of course farms are not the best economy. Iroquois especially is not the best economic civ in the long run. I mean, doing H2, H3 very good with the market upgrades and the trading post. But longer term, they're not the best economic civilization, especially because look at his deck. He doesn't have any economic cards in his deck to boost gathering rates or stuff like that. So the longer this game goes, definitely the better it is for Boneng. We see that he's now going to mix in some artillery, that is very nice. They don't do the best job versus infantry, but pretty decent with their range and an area, and still siege attack of course with a bonus of 2. But they do very good versus buildings as well, with and versus ships with their range. He did make a consulate army that is some musketeers and a cannon. And now we have a big fight coming in, so let's see how this will go. Jerome is leading the charge, even some Raipoot being made there versus these Kanyas. And there we have skirmishes coming in kind of from the wrong side. And there we see the Zambarak immediately changing position because they have to deal with the Kanyas before the Kanyas take out all the skirmishes. This cannon is focused fired on another cannon, I believe. No, it is not. It was focused fired on the skirmishes, but anyway, there's too much of a big army from Boneng there, and he is definitely going to be able to take this. And I think it's just game over here. As you see, the Zambaraks, of course, they are dragoons, so they are pretty good versus cannons. You can take out cannons with them like you can do it with dragoons. And now this is a very rough spot. Not only is Spadel's base, of course, completely open, but also he did upgrade his units, by the way, so he was fighting with the 4th Age army. But of course, Boneng invested a lot more, and that was... I'm not sure why Spadel pushed out already, but of course, again, the longer he waits, the worse it gets. So it's kind of a very rough game for him. Because he does have the deck to boom on land so far, and he was probably not planning for this from the start of this game. As you see here, we are already 28 minutes into the game. He was probably going to go for some 2nd or 3rd Age agenda, and not going for a heavy economic long play game. Anyway, he is able to get these Huron mantlets, and they are very nice. A lot of resistance, a lot of HP, and they will do actually pretty good in cleaning up this army. This means Spadel should definitely win this battle, but there are so many units still coming in and left over there. A lot of more Kanyas coming in, so Boneng definitely has to get up some more of his anti-cavalry, but there we have Zambaraks coming in to deal with these Kanyas. But I'm still not sure why he is not adding some cavalry. I mean, you definitely need some cavalry just to deal with these forest prowlers, I feel. And there we have a monitor shot, by the way, you see it's there. As soon... Kanya's trying to take out this boat. As soon as he has line of sight here with his army, with his land army, he can use his monitors to target these buildings down. He got the trading post up, but of course is now going to be sieged down again by Spadel's army. And of course, take a look at champion forest prowlers here. 26 damage times 2. I think they're definitely the best skirmishers in the 3rd Age, but in the 4th Age they do a very good job as well. So Boneng kind of remessing over here. I'm still not there. He has more Yurumis. Of course, just to point this out quickly, he has this infinite Yurumi shipment. That's this one. 9 Yurumis. He has to pay food for it, but he gets it in infinite times. And actually, I feel that this game is slowly going into Spadel's favor, because Boneng is kind of throwing now his units away. I don't like Raipoots, by the way. They are just a stupid pikeman. You should just make Zambaraks or Sepoys. Sepoys have so much HP. Why the hell would you go for all these Raipoots? Okay, he aged up to the Imperial Age, that makes sense. But I mean, look at this, man. It's 135 resources. Why not just make a sepoy? That's like 120 resources. You have the food, you have the gold, and the sepoys have so much HP, especially with the British Consulate, and they do a pretty good job at tanking damage because of their HP, but also they do good versus cavalry. They can block cavalry, and of course they have a pretty good range attack still. And finally, as if you listen to me, we have the Mahouts coming in, and they are still disciplined, but I hope you will upgrade them soon. 1200 HP, 37 attack with 2 area damage, and 0.3 resistance. These are like beasts in any battle, and he's going to be careful to not attack these guardians. There you have it. No, you barely not have it, or you have it. Wait. No, he didn't attack them. Oh, but now the cannon spelled it. Anyway, the cannon's gonna die anyway. So, he is now mixing in tomahawks. Good switch there because he definitely needs some tomahawks versus the Mahouts here. Of course, I think tomahawks are probably the preferred choice over the dragoons of the Iroquois in this case, because I would prefer going infantry. On the other hand, you have these Iroquois which actually do very good versus tomahawks. So India is an exception here, and that's why you maybe want to mix in dragoons after all. Sorry for that. Because as you see here how fast these tomahawks are cleaned up by these Iroquois, dealing bonus damage and ranged damage versus tomahawks. Tomahawks of course have only melee resistance. So far Mahut's not upgraded yet, but this is definitely going good for Boneng since he's now also in the 5th age. What I like to see is that Spadel is gonna revive his hero. There it is. So much HP, 2k HP, and of course boosting the Iroquois army a lot in battle. So you should always try to get your hero again with your army. And now we see that Boneng is running in a little bit, trying to do some economic damage there. He is not using his monitors yet. Oh, I mean yet again, not yet again. There you have this resource shipment from the Iroquois. He doesn't really need his units now. I believe he also sent his upgrade cards already by this time. So he's just gonna use more crates to spam out more army. The thing of course with these pikemen is if you combine them with your roomies, then tomahawks are very good versus pikemans. They are basically a pikeman, your Raiputs. But the roomies will do very well versus these tomahawks. So I would say that Spadel should go for tomahawks, some forest prowlers, and kanyas, which is kind of the composition that he seems to go for now. Tomahawks very well able to deal with these pikemans, but what we have left here, no Iroquois left, so that's good for Spadel. And there you have new cavalry charging in. But why is he not reviving his hero yet? So unfortunate. And kind of a bit of a pathing issue here with this cavalry. But another shipment coming in from the hometown, by the way. And he aids now with the Charminar Gate, so he's now able to make Mansebda units for every unit that he has, like Sepoy, Gurkha, etc., if he wants to. Except of course for the Kree trackers, because they are a native unit and not the main India units. So far the fight is still focused on this side of the map. No other additional raids or so. And Spadel is gonna clean it up, but look again, the score difference is now 300 almost. And these were going in for a raid, I guess, but they're gonna get trapped by Kanyas. They do still pretty nice versus cavalry, but of course they're also exalted. That means it's the 5th upgrade is like Imperial, what is it again in European civilizations? Guard, yeah, Imperial is it. So of course that's why they also do better versus the 4th age units of Spadel. Some more wards coming up because this is the focus point from Boneng to push in. So of course you want to have some more defenses here. Also of course some more training, some more production. And actually I haven't taken a look yet at the war fire pit. There it is, the fire pit. Oh, it is tasked to, I believe that is, no, it's not reviving his hero icon. I'm not sure what this icon is actually. I'm not sure. I have to check it out later. It's definitely not the war dance, and it's definitely not reviving the hero. So then it should. But he is realizing that this is just a good game over there. Okay, good game. Yeah, what can I say? Well played by Boneng, of course. Also with the start delaying any push there, any map control. But in the end, yeah, water is kind of very strong, and you have to deal with it in some way. And there are like two ways. One way is to take control of the water yourself, but then you have to do it early. And of course, Iroquois is not the best. You have to deal with it. And on the other hand, you can go for a very economic boom on the land. The problem is that Iroquois is not the best civilization to boom in the long run. Of course, Boneng knows that. And also, of course, Iroquois with this deck is definitely not the best civilization because he doesn't have any economic upgrades. So if you take a look at the post game here, you'll see that the resource gathered. He did get to 100 villages, Spadel. He did age with the not sure which age up it is, but then you get, if you go to 99 villages and you get 10 free villages, yeah, you can get more than 100 villages. And of course, Boneng had more than 100 because he had boats. But this is like a little trick with Iroquois. If you take the right age up, you can get more than 100 villages. Anyway, a few lost there, but he's still around 100. But if you look at the resources, you see this huge difference. Not only does the Indian guy have a lot of economy, also like cards like this in the mainland help out a lot, and the upgrades that he can do. But also, of course, the water. Look at this, all these resource cards. Well, actually just one, but still. The upgrades you can do with the boats as well. Very important. So, good game there. Water, I think, yeah, just decided this, but of course it was a strategy for what Boneng went for. So that means that it is 1-1, and we had some delay in the start, unfortunately, guys. It is now 15:47, and yeah, indeed, good speed. It was kind of a weird going for this unit composition, but maybe he thought just like, okay, I have it already, and he knew that he was so much ahead in score, and he still had complete control over the water, and he was still already also one age ahead of Spadel, so the game was very well won by him at that point. So that means it's now 1-1 Spadel to Boneng, and we are going into the third map. That's going to be Siberia. Of course, Spadel can go for Iroquois again because he just lost with Iroquois. The problem is, guys, that Shimas versus Spadel was supposed to be at 5:15 GMT. That would be in like 10 minutes. And that is very unfortunate. I can't cast this match then because this match of Spadel and Boneng is not only very long because of course of the last game, but also they started too late, and that means that we have a huge delay there. Yes, he can. Oh, wait a second.
Are you ready?
Okay, guys, I just asked. Yeah, I talked to Raphael. Raphael said he wait, and indeed, I just talked to Shimres, but now I have to quickly jump into the third game, guys. Um, just to, as a reminder, keep in mind the 2-minute delay. So, there we go again. We have the third game of Spadel versus Boneng, round of 32. BO5, currently it is 1-1 each. Boneng lost the first game with China versus British on Great Plains. And he won the second game with India versus Iroquois on Saturday. And now we are having another matchup, which is going to be Iroquois versus British. Boneng going to go for Iroquois and Spadel going to go for British. Of course, on this map, it's in a few ways similar to Great Plains, why the British guy can do very good here versus a strong civilization like Iroquois. And that is because there's a lot of resources available, a lot of food. That's good for the British. And also, the distance on this map is a little bit more than on the Great Plains or other maps, such as Yukon, for example, or Saguenay. So, because of this distance and also the defensive tower that you have, you are better able to defend versus a rush. And that's probably why Spadel is going for British now. Of course, we all know that his British is very, very strong. So I have to see how it goes. Iroquois is going for a second trading post. I mean, for the middle trading post here, and British just making 2 houses there. Of course, if you start with this amount of wood and you didn't see if you got a treasure, you got 90 wood. Okay, so then of course you make a second house right away. Some guys go for a market. I think a second house early is in most cases better because you get one villager extra, and that is a huge economic boost. And also you get a little bit more XP from the house. Oh, wait a second. Anyway, you get one more villager's huge economic boost, and you also get some XP, so you still get your villager shipment rather fast. I thought you got a little bit more XP than the market anyway, but okay. We see that now Spadel is gonna go for this 40 wood treasure there, I think. Or not, he's gonna scout, wait, no, he got it, 40 wood there. He is trying to hurt this first hunt, but maybe that's a little bit of a misunderstanding here, because your first hunt on Siberia is not something you can hurt. You can hurt the second one is doing over there, but you can't hurt your first one. We see that the Iroquois here did get just 40 wood. Wait a second, where did he get the pirate from? Okay, of course, he grabbed a pirate here. Of course, you can use your conversion ability to get one of these stronger treasure guardians, which can then help you a lot by getting the treasures, because you have, look at this one, a lot of HP, a lot of attack. So it helps a lot. Anyway, he's now gonna micro a little bit for this treasure. Doesn't want to have all monkeys attacking him, but he's probably gonna... Oh, he decided to back off. Okay. Interesting. Oh, he's now going for it again. Maybe he didn't have the best angle. What I wanted to say is that he is now also bringing his second hunt, but by this time the Iroquois is of course aging up. Of course, you want to age as fast as possible with the Iroquois, especially if you want to do some kind of rush on the British. And thus you want to have your food up as fast as possible, so you can age up as fast as possible, have your warhead there as fast as possible, and shipments as well. The British being defensive, for them it's more important to just bring your hunts in. As you see here, he's now bringing this hunt as well, because you're gonna get defensive anyway, and then it doesn't matter if you age up like a few seconds later, if you make sure that you have enough food around to defend from a rush. Anyway, what we see here is that he's running around with this big HP unit, all the monkeys are attacking it, while meanwhile the tiger and the hero are taking out all the treasure guardians. And there it finally goes down, not yet, yes, almost, it goes down there. But it doesn't matter, he killed this treasure and he got now 205 food, and that's of course with a lot of HP left still on this smoky hero. And that's of course a very nice boost for the Iroquois. Spadel in the meanwhile took up another 40 wood, that was I believe the wood near his base, yes. And also grabbed 30 coins somewhere. And now gonna get 40 additional wood there. And I assume that Boneng will convert one more of these samurais over there. And of course, if he is able to get this treasure later on with his hero, a converted samurai, and some kanyas, 10% increase of your hit points. That means that you get like a second hero boost as Iroquois, and that's of course very, very important. Iroquois edged up, Travas is going over there. We see that Spadel was trying to kind of catch it, but he came out from a different angle. He should, of course, kind of be able to predict that the Iroquois Travas would be walking like this pad and not like this pad. So if he wanted to go for it in CG, then he should definitely have come across here somewhere. Anyway, Iroquois not going for a market, so this is all just standard trading post, forward, warhead. Also a stable. Where's the villager? Wait a second. Did he save his Travas to make a stable? Okay, he saved his Travas in the first age to make a stable, I believe. Interesting. And that is a Travas, of course, to make the warhead. We see that the 4 Kanyas are already on the way, and we see that Spadel made some of these wall pieces. I don't really like them because they're so cheap and you give them a lot of line of sight. He has complete line of sight there, and Boneng is not able to kill that off anytime soon. However, it is part of a tournament, you want to win, so you do everything that's possible. We see that the Kanyas will get 1 villager here, or they should. No, they should not, because we have pikemen coming out from Spadel. He barely get it, but he lost a lot of HP on his Kanya as well, and he's losing 1 Kanya. 1 villager for 1 Kanya, not really the best trade in my opinion, but he got it at least. And there we have a few more houses coming up from Spadel, and of course that means that he will have even more line of sight, so he kind of has complete control, knows what's happening on this side of the map. So if any raids comes in, like you see here from this side, then it's going to be spotted by these wall pieces, line of sights, and that means that Spadel is able to deal with it perfectly. After pikemen to deal with the Kanyas, of course, he's going to make some longer men, and from there we have to see how aggressive he will play it. He did scout also the stable from Boneng, so that means that Boneng is able to quickly change it up to adding cavalry, and now he's also going to go for the 3rd trading post already. Let me take a quick look here. That is all gathered. There's no crate yet, no 600 wood yet. That's an interesting. We don't see this style that often. I've seen it before a few times, but usually it plays out a little bit different. But of course, on this map, having 3 trading posts is very nice. And he also upgraded the trading post to stagecoach. Second Rex coming up there with the 600 wood shipment from Spadel. He wants to go for a long moment pikeman defense with the walls, as you see over there. Of course, you do invest some wood in the walls here, and that's why it's very standard to go for 700 wood and then 600 wood and ship your 5 villages later on. You will do that afterwards. And Boneng, as you see here, he went for a very economic setup. 5 villages, then 4 villages, and then he's probably going to go for the 600 wood shipment anytime soon, because of course he did upgrade the trading post, and he definitely needs some more houses and also needs the wood to produce units. A little bit of a raid coming in there, not gonna kill any villager, but delaying a little bit is also nice as well. And now he's just gonna play the more economic style, and probably gonna push in like 2 minutes or so with a good army instead of going for an all-out rush against the British. I think it's the best choice because with the tower set up here, the wall, of course the extra tower still, and the town center is not the best thing to push in at this point. Mailman available as well, of course. But this base from Spadel looks very nice. If you see from all the way from here towards the top of his base and then towards the bottom here, he has complete line of sight, so he knows what's going on. But of course what Iroquois can do here is just, if the British guy wants to sit back, then it's actually fine for the Iroquois, and he can just sit back himself, get a huge economic lead later on with the market, trading post, etc. And then just deny the British from any map control, and that means that at some point when the British runs out of food, they have to push out, and that's when you can take the fight near your warhead. We see that Spadel is now trying to push out a little bit here. He does have a pretty good army at this point, but there are a lot of Kanyas. I don't think this is a battle that the Boneng should take. He should definitely go back. He's taking way too much damage with all the pikemans. He should not take this battle because there are too many pikemans around. And longmans, of course, if they stand still, they have a pretty good rate of fire, very fast, so they do a lot of damage. Even versus cavalry, they do okay in decent numbers, but of course this is now too few units. So probably a misclick there. He should go back, as he's now trying to bring his pikemen to the front. And there we have, of course, only hyenas popping out because he knows that the British guy is going for a 2-rex strategy here, and that means that you don't need tomahawks, and you can better go for cavalry and hyenas to counter longman pikemen. If you micro well, and of course have a decent amount of units, you should be able to take out a pikeman skirmisher composition with a skirmisher cavalry composition. However, what you have to keep in mind here, sorry, is that this is a very good position for Spadel. Usually this army is able to take out this army, but because you have a tower, a town center, and a very defensive position, it's hard for the Kanyas to really get to the longbowmen because the pikemen can block it from the front. And then where you just don't want to go in as the Iroquois, better wait off, make some more mess, and go in at a later point in the game. 600 wood shipment must have been shipped by now. No, in fact not, but he set his trading post to wood, that's also fine. He shipped then the hyenas in his deck. Let me take a quick look. Yeah, 5 villagers and 4 villagers, then he shipped the 7 hyenas, of course Kanyas were the first shipment. So that's where we are now in this game. And of course a lot of wood coming in there for the Iroquois. Market also up now, so that will boost his economy even more. And in fact, another wall coming up from Spadel. Interesting wall. I'm not sure if I like it that much, because I would probably like a wall, for example, between this Rex and the tower. It's a lot less wood invested, and these hunts are almost out of food anyway. We see that Spadel now shipped 700 coins, so this is interesting. I don't think that he's gonna add a stable. I think that he's gonna try to age up. We have to see how this plays out, because he knows he doesn't have food left. Of course, he can try to bring this hunt over there, and then maybe when it's like over here, wall this up completely so you have one more hunt available. But this one is really, really far, and of course, as soon as Spadel goes for that, Boneng will scout it and go for a raid. Longbowmen should be used. They should be standing over there, because then they can do any damage to any unit here with their huge range of 22 instead of being idle. Another wall coming up, and I'm not surprised if there would be another wall coming up from like here, as you see right being built there. Just a complete wall to be very secure with longbowmen. You can use your range to the max, benefit from your 22 range versus just hyena range of 16. And then, of course, go back when you need to go back in your defensive position. Town center, 90 damage, 2 towers. But it is probably not the best choice here to go for the age up if he was going for it with the 700 coin. Anyway, he is actually able to deal with it pretty decent, I would say. The longmans and tower and pikemen are focused on the Kanyas, and if the Kanyas get down, which they will, 2 towers being microed on the Kanyas, as you see there. Also, the town center is probably gonna get microed on the Kanya, or else the hero. Let me take a look at the hero here. 450 HP still. Kanya is not the best angle there. Midman popping out finally. I think it was a good choice to better deal with his army, because there's still a lot of hyenas available. Finally, he's putting the hero back. It only needs to stand here over there to see to get the boost to the army. If it's too much in the front, then it will take too much damage. But you see that it's still going down, so that means that this town center fire is probably still focus firing. The hero, as you see there, is now going down. He managed to take out all the pikemans, and new more pikemen pumping out there, but he definitely needs more longbowmen now, or cavalry. There's no stable up yet. Pikemen are gonna be put in cover mode here, that is to absorb more damage from ranged units. Of course, Boneng is still trying to take out the pikemen because he has new Kanyas coming in, but eventually he is gonna go back, I would say. He's taking a lot of fire. If you see, he has 60 damage from the 2 towers and 90 damage from the town center fire, and the longbows in defensive position. As long as your longbows are not moving around too much, they do actually pretty good. Better rate of fire than hyenas, and of course 12 damage versus 17 damage is also a lot better. But Spadel managed to edge up. That's what he did with the 700 coin, as discussed before. He edged up with the 6 longbowmen, as you see over there, and now Boneng has to go back. And this is actually, I think, a very good micro here by Spadel. Also very smart at that point then to just kind of almost completely wall off your base, just to buy yourself more time. Every new unit that comes from Boneng can't go in this way. It has to walk away all the way around from here to there to there to there, or all the way around to the bottom. We see that he's going to harass a little bit here with these arenas, but they're going to be taken up by longbowmen. So what we have now is the Spadel British guy being in the 3rd age, and of course having access to cannon shipments, to the 2 cannon shipment, and that is very nice for British to push on this warhead and on all the infantry of the Iroquois if you just protect it with enough pikemans. He tried to get this hunt, but of course Boneng, having scouted that, knows that sees that Spadel is trying to go for it and was raiding it with the Kanyas already. He's now going to post 1 hyena there just to make sure that A low HP hyena that is though, so it will even be a villager can even take it out. But anyway, he will then know if Spadel is going for that hunt again. Of course, he still has a lot of food available in the berries. It's not the best resource, but you still get food from it. And now he's also going on this hunt. So actually, all is looking pretty fine for Spadel so far. It's not over yet, for sure not, because the Iroquois is not out of this yet. He has a lot of economy behind it and a lot of units as well. You see that the Spadel upgrade his longman, not yet his pikeman. He is not mixing in hussars, he is shipping his 5 favorite hussar shipment now. And now we see that it's going to be a very close battle, I think, because there are not many pikemans, but there are a lot of longmans. He decides to go back, and that means he's going to lose his trading post. He just want to get a little bit of a bigger army. But so far, the fact that you kind of force the British guy to use 5 hussar shipment is actually quite a good thing for Iroquois. You rather have the 5 hussar shipment, in my opinion, at this point, than the 2 cannons or the 8 villagers. So taking the trading post there, Spadel this. Still not going for this hunt again. And of course, the Iroquois has complete map control, even building a warhead there for safety in case of any raids. And now I believe he won't let this warhead die. I believe he just should just go in there, as he's trying to do now. Pikeman's upgraded. He doesn't have to take this fight yet, I would say. I would like to have him some more kanyas, perhaps. Because of course Spadel's just going back to his gate there and have a very defensive fight there. Okay, he is able to take out some HP of these hussars and maybe even a few hussars, so that's definitely a good thing. But he has to be very careful because anytime soon 2 cannons can pop out, and if they get 2 shots off on this big clumped up army, it's going to be really, really bad. He is going for a raid here, but being caught by the pikemen there, losing 2 kanyas in the process, very, very unfortunate there. Too bad that the hyenas went back because they could have taken out a lot of these pikemen while they were chasing the kanyas. Anyway, Spadel, a little bit afraid there, moved his villagers. But he's gonna move them back. I also upgraded the village HP, of course. And now we see that the bigger army advantage goes to Boneng, and he is gonna take out the trading post of Spadel. I would really like to see him pulling this part of the army to this side, so he won't get picked off by longmen that easily as you see here, and he's doing exactly that. And now he should pull off that, exactly, that's how you should micro it. Take the trading post down, but take as less damage as possible from any unit of your opponent. So good job there, denying a trading post for Spadel. And now going for a 1 Kanya raid on the side, and Spadel managed to take out, no he did not. The hyena managed to take out a villager, I guess, or wait, let me see here for a second. He just tasked, no he didn't lose a villager there, he just tasked the villagers on building houses. But this is of course a very rough spot, 2 cannons being shipped there. He's very good in defense over here, but Spadel knows this, I mean Boneng. So that means that these Kanyas, of course, first gonna deal with the raid here from Spadel, and they're gonna grab it. I think the hussars are not gonna move on time. What you see here is moving past it, using a tag move, attacking every unit. That means that they can't escape. If Boneng micros correctly, then all these hussars should die, and he should be able to kill them down. However, finally, a tower coming up, as expected. 3 villagers. I don't like this. He should task it with 4 villagers. That is finished faster. It will be very close if these kanyas will come in time. I think they barely will. But the pikemans are also going over there, and that means when the pikemans move out, he might have a chance at pushing on this hunt with his infantry. Let's see what's gonna happen there. He is not gonna get the tower up. He is gonna get some villages, but the pikemans are coming in, so this is... He is gonna get it up, and he didn't lose villagers, so that's right on time. But always, I prefer to build it with 4 villages. You have 4 villages anyway, and then you just get it up faster, so you just take less risk of losing villages there. Anyway, his whole army is now out here, except for 2 cannons. Oh, even the 2 cannons are out here. So what is Boneng gonna do? Is he gonna go back and defend, because Spadel's gonna push out here? Or is he gonna push out on Spadel's side? It looks like he's gonna go back and defend. Spadel, of course, having scouted the map, knows that Boneng is getting resources on this side. Picking up a macaque even with his villagers. Of course, you can pick up treasures with your villagers, by the way, guys. And there we have 2 Kanyas being able to take out... Yes, they're gonna take out the cannon. Of course, Kanyas have 1.8 time bonus versus cannons, versus artillery. Very nice pick off, being able to pick off the cannon. Of course, if you... Careful with that. I think he grouped it with the other Kanyas. They are gonna get caught by the pikemans. But if you keep being active, you see, for example, heroes doing that a lot. If you are very active with your army around the map, it requires a lot of APM. Things like not getting caught by pikemen as you saw over there, but it often pays off because you can come from a weird angle that your opponent doesn't expect. For example, now from the back, look at where the pikemen are. If he had 4 kanyas from the back, he would lose perhaps 4 kanyas, but he would take out the cannon. So this is now something not easy for Boneng, but he decides to go to push out on a main point of resources for Spadel, and that's going to be this side. The wood here and the fruit there. Unfortunately, he went in line of sight from Spadel, and that means that Spadel knows about it. He evacuated these villages, but he didn't evacuate these yet. He hasn't any kanyas left. But Boneng managed to age up to the third age. It was actually expected because he didn't make many more units now, so of course he was aging up. Still has a very good economy left, but Spados is a little bit better, I believe. A few more villages, and he has, of course, the market upgrades that he needs. He was pressured, that's why he had a lower resource line, but then again, he has access to 8 villages very shortly, and also Boneng still has trading posts. 2 trading posts it is. Anyway, what we have here is Spado coming back with the cannons, with the pikemans. Of course, he doesn't want to... usually you don't want to engage with pikemen on hyenas, but in this case it's no problem, because if your pikemen are going to attack the hyenas, it means that you will slow them down, and that means that you will be able to kill it with your longmans and cannons in the back, so losing some pikemen is not a problem there. That's also why you see that Boneng is leaving some of these units behind, just to make sure that not his whole army gets slowed down, and he's actually kind of trapped here. Would be funny if Spado would have finished this wall here. Anyway, he has only hyenas here, and he did upgrade them to elite hyenas. He's going for hyenas instead of forest spiders so far. A little bit of a raid coming in from the tomahawks, and what would be really nice, I mean from hyenas, if he would put them in melee mode and attack this cannon. But they are not gonna get so far. Anyway, if some hussars pop out here, that is of course gonna be very risky, because these are only hyenas. Some tomahawks now joining in, elite tomahawks, so they're being upgraded, and they also took out the trading post here, so while this battle was going on the right side, we had some harassment on the left side. These hyenas are going to be taken out. New town center coming up from Boneng for some more economy, while he's still pressuring the British, and the British is now going for 2 stables. I think that's a very good choice, because he already has a lot of longbow and a 3 unit composition army, as I've said before, is always better if you micro correctly. So skirmisher, pikemen, skirmisher, anti-cav, longbowmen, pikemen, and hussars is definitely going to do a good job. And Boneng also knows now that he has to be very careful, not only that this army is coming in, but also that stable. The second stable coming up from Spadel, so that means that 10 Hussar might be pop out anytime soon. He is able to get this cannon with his infantry army if he just looks at it. Come on, Spadel, Boneng. Yeah, he is. That's very unfortunate for Spadel though, but yes, sleeping very. I know the feeling. I've had something like this before. He did take it out, and that is of course a very huge game change here, because with so many units. He would not be able to take out this cannon easily, because Spadel is very capable of protecting the cannon with all the pikemen and longbows that he had. What we have here is that because Spadel is pushing out here with, of course, the still rather slow army that he has, longbow don't move that fast, pikemen have to protect it, etc. Boneng is now going to go for a raid here on the right side, denying Spadel from any resources. And if he's going to able to catch a lot of these villages, that would be really nice. Of course, pikemen were taking out the warhead here, so they will be later joining the battle, and that means that still a lot of longmen, 2 main longmen left here. And of course, look at what I said, 10 hussars popping out, or 2, 4, 6, 9 hussars popping out. And he's trying to micro back as best as possible, but he's gonna lose these kanyas for sure. Longmen's very good rate of fire, so as soon as they stand still, we'll be able to deal very well with these kanyas. And Boneng needs a lot of cavalry, and preferably also some anti-cavalry, because he's not able to keep up with these longmen's and hussars just by making kanyas and hyenas. It's interesting though that he goes for no forest prowlers yet, but only elite hyenas. Of course, forest prowlers cost a little bit more. Hyenas only 100 food, forest prowlers I believe, or let me get exactly 50 food, 65 gold, so that's a little more expensive. And there we have the shipment, forest prowlers and tomahawk shipment I believe. Also upgrade of course, so pretty decent army here. Now Spadel trying to go in for a raid, and there we have a few hyenas raiding the villages of Spadel, and he's gonna barely get another one. And there we have some 5 tomahawks, barely out of range of these longmen, but also going out for a raid. Spadel gonna push out here on the town center of Boneng. Of course this is to get map control, he's losing a few villages, they're not the best. It is to get map control, but oh, what these tomahawks doing here? Look at this, 10 tomahawks being wasted, because they will probably almost all die versus these longmen. If Spadel micros correctly, which he is doing by the way, let me point it out. Oh no, not anymore, but in the start he was firing a few tomahawks and not all longmen on one. Very unfortunate, he lost like 8 tomahawks for nothing there, and I'm not sure why he would take the fight now. Actually, I don't think he should take the fight. You lose your town center, there's nothing left to defend. Why would you take the fight now? No reason. Better to stay back, mess some more, get a better army ready, deal with the raid, and attack when it's really needed. So far the game is going in Spadel's advantage, Spadel's favor. The tomahawks here are going to get cleaned up by Longerman. Of course, sieging a house is not the most useful thing. And there we have the pikemen kind of wasted a little bit, but they are put in cover mode, and that will mean that they will absorb a lot of fire from these hyenas, while in the meantime these Longermen are able to do a lot of damage versus the hyenas. And you see here that he targeted the war hero first. A very good job, of course. It boosts the hit points of all the army, the whole army, but now it's taken out, so no more hit point boost there. Tomahawks only put in melee mode to deal with the cavalry there. And I would really like to see some Kanyas being... Oh, there we have it. 5 Cuirassiers. Very, very well timing from Boneng. I was expecting, like, I was thinking, like, where is the cavalry? And this is very unfortunate for Spadel because it was going so well for him. But if you play on such a high level for such a good player, you should be expecting either these 5 Cuirassier shipment or a lot of Kanyas being made there. And actually, that is kind of the game changing thing there. It was going very well for Spadel, but these 5 Cuirassiers with the hyenas in the back, they just completely destroyed this like 20-25 Longermans there. And Spadel, of course, having not many hands available, he did manage to get a tower and a town center here, so he does have access to this part of the map. But because he lost so much of his units there, he couldn't really go back to this defensive position and play from there. If he had not these 5 Cuirassiers, and maybe if he had pulled back his Longerman, he could have played from here by adding some more SARs and pikemen and stuff like that. But yeah, this is what was very rough. We see that Spadel did 51, 59, 58 villages there, but then again he lost some to some of the raids that I pointed out from Boneng, raiding with a few Tomahawk, raiding with a few hyenas, and then Boneng had also very nice market upgrades and still all the time 2 trading posts. In the end, Spadel got that back again, the third one, but Boneng also has 2 town centers and the map control here this side. So good job, good timing there. Also kind of maybe mind tricking Spadel a little bit that he was kind of winning it over there, and that he just led his units there, that Longerman there fighting. But in fact, there was a big surprise coming. That was the Cuirassier. So there we have it. Now that is going to be a 2-1 for Boneng. Very exciting game. Well played by both. I think it was very... I had my doubts about the aging up from Spadel, but I think it was probably the best thing to do for him, as I pointed out a minute later, because he didn't have much map control. And if you age up, you get, of course, 6 Longermen, but you also get access to a 5-star shipment without being building a stable, the 8 villager shipment that you use later, and of course the 2 cannons. And that is going to allow you to also upgrade your Longermen and pikemans. And you had 2 towers, as you saw there. He made a nice wall. He used 2 towers, the town center focus fired it nicely on the Iroquois hero to take it out. Good micro as well. He didn't even use his villagers yet. He only used micro of his Longermen, pikemen, making the right units at the right time also. You saw pikemen popping out of the barracks when they were needed. And also Minutemen popping out at the right time. Just when I was like saying like, this might go the wrong way for Spadel, that's exactly when he popped out Minutemen, and was able to deal with that battle very nicely.